Jake Morrison had expected execution. Maybe torture first, given how much the Letherians hated humans. What he hadn't expected was to be dragged before the Oracle. The chamber was ancient, carved from living crystal that pulsed with inner light. The Oracle herself was older still, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline shell, her consciousness spanning millennia. She was legend, the voice of the founders, the keeper of bloodlines. Emperor Valthos stood before her, his elegant features twisted with contempt as guards forced Jake to his knees. "Oracle," Valthos said, "I bring you this human spy. He infiltrated the royal archives, seeking our sacred texts. I ask your blessing to execute him as an example to his kind." The Oracle's light pulsed, washing over Jake. He felt it penetrate him, reading something deeper than DNA, deeper than memory, reading his very essence. Then she spoke, and the chamber trembled. "He carries the founder's blood." Silence. Absolute, crushing silence. Valthos laughed. It was an ugly sound. Impossible. He's human. They're barely evolved primates, not. "I do not make mistakes," the Oracle interrupted, her voice like a glacier calving. "This one descends from Founder Meridax. 5th generation. The bloodline is unmistakable." Jake's mind reeled. He knew his family history. Orphaned at 6, raised in military academies, no records before that. Nothing that connected him to alien royalty. "Explain," Valthos demanded, his composure cracking. "How can a human carry founder blood?" The Oracle's light dimmed, as if looking into the past. "Meridax the Wanderer. He vanished 300 cycles ago during the Great Exploration. We assumed him dead." She paused. "It seems he found Earth instead. Found humans. Found connection." "You're saying a founder mated with a primitive species?" Valthos's voice dripped with revulsion. "I am saying Meridax made a choice," the Oracle replied, "and his descendants stand before you now." Jake found his voice. "I don't understand. My parents were human," the Oracle confirmed. "But somewhere in your lineage, founder genetics lie dormant, expressing only in rare generations. You are one such expression. The blood remembers, even when memory does not." Valthos stepped forward, his hand on his weapon. "This changes nothing. He's still a spy. He is of the founder line," the Oracle said, her voice sharp as broken glass. "By ancient law, he cannot be executed without trial by the High Council. And as founder blood, he has the right to claim." "No." Valthos's word was final. "I will not acknowledge this abomination as royalty." Jake looked up at the Emperor. In Valthos's eyes, he saw fear. Because if Jake carried founder blood, he had a claim. Not just to protection under the law, but to position, to power, to the throne itself. "I didn't ask for this," Jake said quietly. "I came here looking for answers about who I am, where I came from." He glanced at the Oracle. "Seems I found them." The Oracle pulsed with something that might have been approval. "The blood chooses its vessels carefully. Meridax was the greatest of the founders, explorer, scholar, seeker of unity between species. It is fitting his legacy walks again." Valthos drew his blade. "Bloodline or not, I will not let a human threaten my rule." The Oracle's light flared, blinding. "Enough." The Emperor froze. "You will convene the High Council," the Oracle commanded. "You will present this candidate, and you will abide by their decision. This is not a request, Emperor. It is the law you swore to uphold." Valthos trembled with rage, but he sheathed his blade. "As you command, Oracle." He turned to Jake, his voice low and venomous. "This isn't over, human. Founder blood or not, you're still an outsider. The Council will never accept you." Jake stood, meeting the Emperor's glare with unexpected calm. Something had shifted inside him when the Oracle spoke. A door opening. A recognition of something he'd always felt but never understood. The sense that he was meant for something more. "Maybe they will," Jake said. "Maybe they won't. But I'm done running from who I am." Guards escorted him to royal quarters instead of a cell. As Jake stood on the balcony overlooking the Crystal City, he thought about Meridax. A founder who'd chosen love over protocol, humanity over purity. Jake touched his chest, feeling his heartbeat. Human and alien. Earth and stars. Both, and somehow more than either. The oracle's words echoed. The blood chooses its vessels carefully. Jake smiled into the alien sunset. He'd come seeking answers and found a destiny he'd never imagined. Tomorrow, he'd face the council. Tonight, he was simply Jake Morrison, orphan, soldier, spy, and apparently, prince.